Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You are please welcome to www.ghanainfrance.com TV. Ghanainfrance.com is a website specially created for the Ghanaian community here in France.
Okay.
And it's a real pleasure having you here this afternoon. Can you please introduce yourself to the Ghanaian community in France and the whole wide world, please?
Of course, of course. Anyway, I'm Benjamin Chumesi Campbell. That's my real name, Benjamin Chumesi Campbell. Musically, the people who know me call me Benjamin Campbell or Daddy Benji. You understand? Yeah, that's my simple name, Daddy Benji musically. If someone wants to know me really. And my real name is Benjamin Campbell Chumesi.
Thanks very much. Can you please tell us what you're doing here in France?
What I'm doing here in France? Anyway, in France I've been working. I used to be a boxer here in France for quite a long time. I boxed almost 15 years in France in amateur, whilst I was doing security jobs and sometimes jobs up and down, working in the discotheque, little jobs just to make the situation good. So we've been working on for quite a long time, and now I'm no more boxing. I'm working like a block supervisor. In France they say gardien d'immeuble. Voilà.
Okay. Since when have you been living in France, please?
I've been living in France, it's almost 29 years now. 29
years in France?
Yes, 29 years.
That's quite a long time ago.
It has been a long time.
So why did you choose France? You are an English speaking boy, like you are Anglophone. Why did you choose to come to France?
Coming to France was not just because I was willing to come to France or whatever it might be. It was because when the real time comes to travel, because my senior sister was already here in France. My senior sister got married to a Frenchman who brought her to France here. It has been quite a long time, and she was willing me to come to Europe, not particularly in France, but while she was here in France, I was willing to be here with her to serve like some little security when we are together. So it was because of my senior sister I chose to come to France.
What is her name? Is she living in France?
She's still living in France. She's called Sister Sophia.
Sister Sophia. Yeah. Where does she live, please?
She's living in Fontainebleau.
Fontainebleau.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Thanks very much. Yourself, have you got any family life here in France? Wife, children?
Anyway, I've got my wife Nadia and 4 children.
Is your wife a French woman? Because it doesn't really often happen to find a Ghanaian sister getting married to a dreadlock man. Is your wife a French woman or Ghanaian?
Anyway, my wife is a French woman, but anyway, they have some black sisters who love Rastafari.
I'm talking about Ghanaians in general.
Ghanaians in general.
Get along with
some
them.
Of them critique, but some of them are well educated and they don't care that you are a Rastaman or whatever it might be, being a dreadlock man, or what they need is a man who will take good care of them. That's all.
For real. Thanks very much. We don't see you often in our community. Why we don't see you when it's funeral, outdoors and things like that? We had Miss Ghana, which we organize each year. This is the 5th year. We've never seen you before. Why have you? What's going on? We don't see you.
Anyway, when I arrived here in France, I got to have a lot of Caribbean friends and some young Africans who came here and they grew up here and who were practicing box with me at the same time. So we were a team of boys who were always making movements together. And as they were not Ghanaians, it did not send me too much in Ghanaian communities. But Ghanaian communities, something I love it myself, because I'm a Ghanaian. I'm one of the patriotic Ghanaians you can find in this world. So I've not been going to the Ghanaian community, but I still love the Ghanaian community. I love it.
Thanks very much. Me, I have this worse. Anytime they talk about Ghanaians not coming into our community, I say it is not about you coming. It is what you represent wherever you might be. Are you giving a good image about Ghanaians when you are out when you are out there? That is the most important thing. So if you don't come into our community, it doesn't really bother me. What really matters to me is what are you giving a good image about Ghanaians wherever you are. That's the most important thing. Thanks very much. Have you got something to say about it?
Yeah, because when I arrived here in France, I know a lot of French people who really don't dig talking to black, being you from Africa, being you Caribbean or what it might be. But because of my black rebel styling and peace and loving styling in my heart, I've presented them black, and now they belong to black community, if even they are white, you know. So I'm presenting Ghana everywhere I go. I let the people know that being a Ghanaian, well disciplined, and anything we do, I make things clear for them to know that in Ghana we've got a good education. So that's that. I've always been giving a good image of Ghana since I arrived here in France.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us a bit about your stay in Ghana? A little bit about your stay. Did you attend school in Ghana?
Anyway,
primary school, secondary school, things like that?
I went to Bantama Presby Primary. Bantama Presby Primary, Block B. And whilst I was going to Form 1 in the elementary school that time, I passed the common entrance examination that time, they call it. After the common entrance, I went to secondary school at Chimbu Akudia Secondary School in Kumau. In Chimbu Akudia Secondary School, whilst I'm going to, when we're going to Form 2, there was a lot of demonstrations that time, because that time there was some political confusion, so the schools, and there were problems everywhere in Ghana that time. And as that time I was a little bit stubborn, I got belonged to one of the students who were rebelling against, during that time, the system of education. So we were dismissed from school, and my father sent me to another school, which is in Kumasi, Osei Ukes they call it.
You went to the best schools in Ghana?
Yeah, so I was at Osei. I went only 2 years in Osei. From Osei, I decided to go to Navrongo Secondary School, because my father decided he would send me far from
your friends.
Yeah,
where you have your stubborn friends.
Yeah, so that when I'll be in Navrongo, as it is far and I'll miss all my friends, it might give me some peace of mind to continue the studies. So being a stubborn student, it was not all that easy in the school, but we completed the school nice and everything was cool.
Okay. So after secondary school, you arrived in France.
After secondary school, I stayed in Accra with one of my uncles in Accra. I was making some business at Okanshi Market Square. Okanshi Market Square. The people know me there in Okanshi Market Square. If you were willing to see me, the people used to call me Kolomashi Baby over there.
Kolomashi Baby.
Kolomashi Baby. That time in Okanshi Market Square, man.
Yeah.
Well, we used to make to sell chainsaw machine parts, man.
Okay.
I was the distribution manager for Isaga Tropicano company, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
then you know Ghana very well. Even though you came here at a very tender age.
I know Ghana by heart. From Accra, I used to travel from Accra to Takoradi, from Takoradi to Dunkwao, from Accra to Brown-Hafo, from Brown-Hafo, from Accra to Ho from Accra. All is to distribute chainsaw machines.
Wow.
So I've been a hard-working man since in Africa. It's not just here that we are hard-working people. We've been working since we were kids, you know.
Okay. Thanks very much. Do you go to Ghana often? How often do you go to Ghana?
I've not been going to Ghana often because actually I've got wife and children, and to go to Ghana, normally if I want to go to Ghana, I want to send my wife and children. And as it is not easy to organize the journey because we are 6, it has not been often. I've not been going to Ghana often, but we pray that we'll soon go to Ghana.
But you've not, so since your arrival in France, you've not set foot to Ghana.
I've gone to Ghana 3 times.
Okay.
And this is the 4th time. Next, maybe the end of this year.
Okay. So you go, but not with your family. That's what you mean?
Yeah. I often go to Ghana. I went to Ghana 2 or 3 times, and now actually, if I'm going to Ghana, I can't go alone because I've got a wife and the children.
Okay.
And my wife will not agree that
you go
I should
alone.
go to Ghana alone.
Okay.
Because she loves me to the extent.
Okay, I understand. How do you find Ghana during your time when you were there compared to now? Like when you compare Ghana, when you were living there, selling your chainsaws, parts. Tree, Navasco, Trinidad, Kodria, primary school, all of that. And then when you compare Ghana to now, and then what is your expectation? You understand what I mean? These 3 steps.
Actually, I'm on myself. I came to Europe. When I arrived in Europe, it was not my intention to live in Europe for quite a long time. My mission to Europe was to come here to Europe and send my group of people from Europe to Africa and settle there in Africa. Because Africa is the best place one can live. Because the promised land, just don't forget about that. The Africa is the promised land. So Africa is the best place one can live, and we need to organize ourselves so that when we're living in Africa, we can not only live in Africa, but make the best good things we can do in Africa to get life so easier and so sweeter, you know. See, sir? So life in Africa, actually, even my life here, I'm happy about it. But the best thing the best life I would be happy to live is to be living in Africa.
Okay.
With the whole of my family.
I understand.
Yes.
I guess they're wishing for that too.
I hope Jah will send me one day to settle.
But what I mean is, your family, are they willing to move with you should things happen?
Anytime I tell my wife, you will be able to move to Ghana, she's moving straight ahead.
Okay. That's very good to hear. Now tell us about your love for music. How did it all start?
My love for music, is since from infancy. When we were kids, we used to listen to Bob Marley. You know, Bob Marley's music is something, when it stays in your heart,
universal.
It can never come out.
Universal.
And Bob Marley's music gives me a lot of inspiration. It builds my life. It builds my brain and my heart. And it gives me peace and love every time. And give me consciousness, you know. So from all this consciousness and good feelings that we have in our hearts, we decided to share it. And the only simple style we can share it is with lyrics, and with the lyrics musically. So everything we do is music. We do music for fun, for joy, and music. When we were kids, we used to sing for the moral ambition and for our cultural reasons, you understand, to entertain ourselves. And we need to sing to have hope and courage to live, you understand? So music is something we can do without it.
Okay.
It's stick in our heart, you know.
You are an artist. How many songs have you written or have you got?
To me, music actually in my repertoire, I've got minimum 50 numbers.
50 or 15?
50 numbers.
50 numbers.
Yes.
Wow. Have you produced any album, single, hit one or something?
Actually, we've started with a single, and we're trying to give at least 5 singles before planning
An
of
album.
the album.
An album.
Yes.
So what is your the title of your single coming out?
The title of single, which is out actually, is Danse avec moi.
Danse avec moi.
Yes.
Is it, yeah, that's in French.
That's in French.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
Where can we have one?
If you go to YouTube,
Uh-huh.
you click on Benjamin Campbell, Danse avec moi.
Okay, Benjamin Campbell, Danse avec moi.
Yes.
And then there you go with your
And
video
there you go
and
with
your
Daddy
and your
Benji
song.
himself.
Nice one. Now, you talked about Bob Marley, and then here comes your single, which is your own song,
It's my
but from the inspiration of your childhood, which has Bob Marley and things like that.
Yes.
Which song of Bob Marley's are you really
Do I really love?
yeah, that's it.
Bob Marley. What we're talking about?
Give me a single one.
A single one. Get Up, Stand Up.
Get Up, Stand Up.
Yes.
Why Get Up, Stand Up? Why that song?
Because most people think great God will come from the sky. As Bob Marley said it, you know, but it's not coming from the sky. So
Where will he come from?
we don't know where, but Jah himself will tell us one time where he will come from, you know. So that one, anyway, Bob Marley's numbers. I love War. I love No Woman No Cry. I love Stir It Up. I love all of Marley's albums deep in my heart.
Okay, that's a good. Mine is Pass It On.
Pass It On.
Yeah, that is mine. That is mine. Anyway, that is not bad at all. So
when I was a kid, I used to sing Bob Marley's number to the extent people call me B Marley in Bantima.
Can you give us some small a cappella of Bob Marley?
Okay, which of them do you want?
Anyone you can do now.
Checking the real situation. Nation war against nation. But then when did this all begin? And so when will it end? Well, it seems like the total destruction, the real solution. For there is no use. No one can stop them now.
And then no use.
So there is no use. No one can stop them now. Just give them an inch, they will take a yard. Yaoni. Give them a yard, they will take a mile. And so once a man is twice a child, and then everything will just fall a while. Well, it seems like the total destruction, the real solution. So there is no use. No one can stop them now. And so there is no use. No one can stop them now. Give them an inch, they'll take a yard. Yaoni. Give them a yard, they'll take a mile. And so once a man is twice a child, and then everything will just fall a while. Well, it seems like the total destruction is the only solution, you know?
Yes, man.
Coach.
So, why Danse avec moi?
Why Danse avec moi? Because we're living in France. When I arrived in France, as you asked me a question, why an English speaking boy who come to France? Living in France, we speak French, and the French language has pumped a lot of my literature, you know. The French language, it has pumped a lot of my literature in the brain there. So going to my reggae music. I love reggae music, but the French people, I want to pick them with something. That every time they'll be talking about Benjamin Combet, Benjamin, and why they'll be talking about Benjamin Combet, then I'll give them some roots music too.
Okay.
You know?
So dance avec moi.
For the meantime, I'm inviting them to dance with me.
Okay.
When they're coming to dance with me, then I'll give them a lot of numbers. Man.
Yes, man. I love that. That's a very smart one.
Yes.
That's very, very, very smart.
I like the vibes there.
Danse avec moi.
Danse avec moi.
Danse avec moi.
I want them to come in.
Danse
I'm inviting them to come to dance with me.
That is not bad at all. So do you know some Ghanaians in France? You can say they are examples to you, like people, Ghanaians who live in France that you might see and say, wow, this guy is doing very well as a Ghanaian living in France.
Oh, I know one man, but recently he died.
Come on.
I've even forgotten of his name.
Where did he live?
He was living in Milan.
Milan.
Right. And I know another tall guy, one from Brunhafo. One tall guy from Brunhafo. He also died in Ghana.
No.
He went to Ghana. I don't know what happened there. Someone told me the Chinese people were cutting trees or something of a sort, and he went to interfere.
No.
And there was a struggle of guns, and
they shot him.
They shot him in Ghana.
No.
Right.
Why the first man you talked about, he was living in Milan.
Yeah.
Why him? Why did you see, what did you see special about him?
He was so decent, and very decent, very peacefully to all brethren, you know. When anytime he meets me, you know, there are some people, when they see you, they begin to judge you immediately. They say, oh, that boy is like that boy.
Because of your locks?
Sometimes because I say Rastaman. I'm a Rastaman. When you see the Rastaman, check Ayaman. When you check Ayaman, you feel it. It's not love every time. But some people run away from the Rasta because they judge you before talking to you. Don't judge someone before talking with him. Check the man and you feel him. Don't say what you don't know. Okay. You understand? And I believe in learning something before explaining to someone. Okay. You understand? I don't like explaining something to someone
before going back to learn.
I don't have any idea about it.
I understand.
Yes,
I understand. What about the second man who got shot in Ghana?
This man, he was one of the guys I met in Milan. You know, when I arrived here in France, I had my sister and his husband, and I was expecting his husband to help me a little bit for some little administration, to show me what I should do administrationally to have some documents, or you know. But very unfortunately, he was not all that social, so he did not give me that helping hand. But when I met that guy in Milan and I told him about the problem I was facing, he immediately gave me some little links about what I should do. And it was nice because it helped me so fast, you know. And I've got one man too, very old actually. But what I like with this man, that he speaks a lot of languages.
Wow, a Ghanaian.
A Ghanaian. He even speaks the Chinese language.
Wow, that is the magic of Ghanaians, you know.
So when I meet people like that, I know Ghana, they are powerful, man.
Yeah.
I know Ghanaians are strong in the brain there.
Yeah.
Like me, and I get the brain there, man. You see the black man, check me, man. Because it's only peace and love in there. There's no hatred, man. We don't have hatred. No hatred in my heart.
Okay. Thank you very much. So let's talk a little bit about those trying to represent our community traditionally. Do you know we've got some traditional leaders here in our community? We call them Nananum. Can you tell us a little bit about them? What you think about their what they're doing?
What they're doing culturally is nice. Culturally is nice because the children born here by our compatriots should learn our culture. And we don't have, if we don't have such rights here to let the people see at least what we've been doing in Africa, when some particular occasions comes, they can see it. So me, with all what is about our cultural things which is happening here in France, I do with it. I love it. I feel it's something we must do it because that's our culture. And we can't forget the culture. Yes, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, looking at what is going on in South Africa, just give us some few talks about that.
What is going on in South Africa pains my heart because it's black killing black, man. I don't see black should kill white, but seeing black killing black, it pains my heart because black man don't need to kill his own brethren because he has been paid money to kill his brethren. And all what is happening in South Africa is exactly, anyway, what I feel is the system is finding some little confusion there so that there will be political confusion actually in Africa. You know, because the system always want confusion so that he will intercept and come and chop African money and come and steal African money again, you know. So that one, Africans should love one another and forget about hatred and forget about rebellion between us, ourselves. And don't forget, it is the whole Africa who fought against the apartheid. And actually now, South Africa is free. It is not only South Africans who made the war. It was the whole African continent who made this war. We have a lot of leaders who made this war. So this war was not fought only by South Africans. So South Africans should realize that African continent is one continent and it belongs to black man. So if someone pay black man money to kill black man, that one we call it negative propaganda, man.
Thank you thank you very much for accepting our invitation. My name is Nana Kwame Sapon Dumorin, and it's always makes me feel good to find Ghanaians living in France who are shining. You know, I call you people black stars here in France. And
yeah, because I don't get a black star on my forehead, you know. And then I'm also happy to meet you, to be here this morning. And what I hope is we'll see each other soon, because I've got a lot of surprises for you musically, you know.
Thank you so much. I'll be so willing to have them on the TV.
I want the Ghanaian people to see the vibes, to listen to the vibes. And if they need more, I promise them more numbers.
Okay then. So you tell us again, where can we find your video? Is it on YouTube?
On YouTube, and then we search, on Deezer, and all this
social media.
On media too.
On social media.
On social media.
Okay, we'll get you there.
We'll get you.
Benjamin Campbell, Danse avec moi.
Website everywhere.
Danse avec moi.
Danse avec moi.
So what will be your message for the Ghanaian community in French? This time I want you to do it in French.
The Ghanaian community in France, qu'est-ce que j'aimerais bien, c'est que quand on commence à s'aimer entre nous-mêmes et à aider entre nous-mêmes, et à s'aimer entre nous-mêmes jusqu'à quand, au milieu des religions à part, soit t'es chrétien, soit t'es musulman, soit t'es orthodoxe, soit t'es n'importe quelle religion, peu importe les religions. Qu'est-ce que moi je veux pour le Ghanaian community here in France? C'est one love. peace and love every time. We share good things together every time. No confusion.
Thank you very, very much, brother. It's nice having you here. We hope to see you again.
Thank you, Brother Shanti.